Next is from our boy Jared Aviat. Subject is the Red Rooster gimmick. Your thoughts? Hey, well, I know what Conan's going to be, but this is. Hope everyone's doing well. After many years of reading and hearing people debating this issue, I'd like to hear the K100 crew's thoughts on if the Red Rooster gimmick was meant to be a joke on Terry Taylor by Vince McMahon, or if it was yet another positive, over-the-top gimmick concept in that era in WWF, and it was done to be successful in the long term, just like Brutus the Barber Beefcake or Rick the Model Martel. Terry Taylor himself in an RF video shoot interview said that he could have committed to the character more and embraced it more. What do you guys think? Do you think the Red Rooster was one of Vince McMahon's silliest ideas? Do you think it could have never worked no matter how seriously Taylor embraced it? Or do you think it was a fun idea which could have worked long term if Terry embraced it more? I think at least Red Rooster was better than the wonderful creation called Bunny on AEW. Thank you. Regards, Jared. Me and Conan know Terry Taylor very well. Okay, because we have been with him for, known him for years and years, to the point that Conan calls him Terry the Stooge Taylor. If you know Terry Taylor's personality, like we do, and know the type of person Vince McMahon is, absolutely 100% this was a joke on Terry Taylor by Vince McMahon, because Terry can come across as very arrogant, and I think Vince gave him a gimmick that could easily be made fun of. All right, but it could have been done better, but for Terry's personality, this was not the gimmick for him at all. Would you agree with that, Coney?
Right, he probably took himself too serious, and they said, "Oh, I got just a gimmick for you." But I also think that gimmick that he was doing, much like the Bushwhackers, that was kind of like for kids. It could have gotten over, like for kids.
Right, but the Bushwhackers kind of like, they're kind of like that. Terry was like the son of a doctor, well educated and stuff like that. So I thought
people didn't know that. People didn't really know that. Just so the Bushwhackers, they're licking their face, and and the kids were imitating them, and they sold a ton of merch, bro. And so I'm sure the kids would have liked the. They probably would have come up with some caps with like a rooster head. Who knows what they would have come up with? But I think he could have gotten over with kids.
Next is from Jay. Oh my God, is this your dad?
I
it's
believe
your dad.
It is, yeah.
Yep, it is. Joe Feeney Jr. was really Joe Feeney Sr. The subject is off suspension.
Does that thing only have 3 sound effects, Joe? Because you use the same 3 all the time.
No, I
like the
20,
sound effects.
25.
I like them too, but yeah.
let's spice them up a little.
Off suspension and cruising for another. Hi guys, how's it going? I'm glad to be off my 1-month suspension. On a recent review of WWE, you guys glossed over Kross being beaten by Nakamura. I thought that was supposed to be a big feud. Now they're on different shows. Unless you know something I don't, when we'd admit that WWE has dropped the ball on Kross and will never get him over. Hopefully get a real answer and not an insult and suspension this time. I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's like some characters that there's tons of characters on these shows that are not used for an extended period of time, and then they start using them, and then they hit something hits, and then they start like getting into angles and feuds. It's happened to everybody. But bro, what were they doing with Sam? How often is Kevin Owens in and out of this show? Kevin Owens is in off the show, on the show, off the like all the characters are. Let's suspend him for another week. For that, yeah.
That's a suspension.
Yeah, that's a suspension.
It was weird that. And so I think that I think Nakamura went to Raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredibly weird that the guy that's staying on SmackDown got beat before this guy went to Raw. And unless they're giving him a super push, but even then I wouldn't have done it. So, and there's no way I can see them not seeing what big a star Kevin is. Just hasn't clicked for whatever reason.
Right.
The guy, bro, to me, the friendships and all that, like this is a guy that I could see in Hollywood one day. He's that good,
bro,
with his
persona.
Mean,
is anybody you're going to criticize his vignettes? They've been every one of them has been fine and good. Like a lot of guys can't even cut a 1.5-minute promo. He's been good with that.
He's got a great look, even though I'm not a big fan of him with the hair.
Me neither.
And Scarlett is incredibly with him. They look like Hollywood stars together.
Scarlett just had a birthday this past week too, by the way.
Happy birthday! Isn't her name Elizabeth?
Something like that. I think it is. Next is from Durban. Subject is 8 AAA
All right,
tag
wait 1 minute. Wait.
Bro, you got to ditch this microphone does not pick up the kazoo anymore.
Well, he said he would add it in.
Yeah, I replace it. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, next from Durban. Subject is AAA tag teams at the NWA Crockett Cup. Hello, Mr. El Barbaro, Glenn, and Joe. I'll be in my usual front row seat at the next NWA pay-per-view, the Crockett Cup, taking place June 3rd and 4th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This year, AAA will be representing the Cup by 2 tag teams. One team consisting of Mysticis Jr. and Octagon Jr., and the other team is Toxin and the Rest. Photos attached, Glenn. Conan, did you have any involvement in the recent collaboration between the NWA and AAA? What can you tell us about these spectacular luchadors? Any chance you'll be in Winston-Salem for the event, Conan? If so, let's chill in the cut afterward and take a trip to Iran with Brother Martin. Mike Durbin of Mike Durbin Productions.
Why are you laughing, Joe?
No, I said.
I'm laughing.
Brother Martin's Who
the f*** is Brother Martin?
He's one of the podcasters that we.
Yeah, that's not happening, dude. Just so you know, if there's some other Get My Go guy there, that's not happening. You and me are never, ever, have ever, or will ever chill in the cut. And I hope that while you're in the front row, an enormously obese wrestler does a plancha and everybody moves out of the way. He falls on you and you blow out your ACL and your PCL.
Ouch.
And hopefully maybe your labrum.
I'm gonna make a point here.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, the Crockett Cup, that's still a thing in the year 2020. You can't find me a more something. If you want to have a bunch of 60-year-old fans in the crowd that used to watch NWA back in the days, have another Crockett Cup.
That's what it is with NWA. They're old school. If you've seen their show, it looks like that studio audience they used to have in Atlanta. Remember?
Right, you can rebrand some of this stuff though.
With the flags, remember all the flags?
Concept.
Remember in the Superstation how they had the flags, all over the place from the different countries. They do that too. Yeah.
They should call it the Corgan Cup.
The what?
The Corgan Cup now.
Yeah,
the Crockett Cup was named after the promoter.
Right.
Well, now it's they're not the promoters of the NWA anymore. Billy Corgan is. Call it the Corgan Cup.
Right. Yeah, I don't have anything against that. Yeah.
Next one.
And yes, I did have. Yeah, I did talk with Pat Kenny, and we picked this talent. And 2 guys are high flyers, very good. Octagon and Mysticis Jr., good shape, really good. And the other 2 guys are heels, Latigo and Ares. Ares was an MLW. Ares has one of the most particular wrestling styles I've ever seen. He invents so many cool high spots and holds that I've never seen. And Latigo is just a beast as a base. So hopefully they'll put them against each other and you'll have a really good match.
Next one's from Fall Vampire. Subject is Edge. Last year, Edge cut a promo after a show, which is, of course, filmed by a fan and put online. And when she mentioned that in 2023 he was going to have his final match and then retire forever. A few days ago on his social media, he released a really good promo talking about his goal to win the title and then retire when he loses it. Now, apparently, in real life, his contract runs out in October 2023. But at the end of the day, he's a worker and wrestlers are never really retired. My question is, if Edge was to retire and leave at WWE, what do you think are the realistic chances of him ever joining AEW? I know there won't be a long-term deal, but everyone knows that Tony Khan will give more money than ever to get him signed to a deal and then force a hug on him in a media scrum. What do you guys think? Billy is a triggered woman. I don't know. If he says he's going to retire, he's probably going to retire. I don't see Edge going to AEW, to be honest with you. Because WWE's paying him a pretty penny, And
right, with an excellent schedule, and they've used his wife, and he probably has complete creative control. Why would you go anywhere?